Good morning, day 308. I'm titling this, Humans Were Made for a Purpose. And it's pre-dawn, well, maybe it's dawn, but pre-sunrise. Look at this, y'all. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I might just have to stand that way. Maybe I will. I'll get down here closer to the water and just let you all have this beautiful view. Wowza. Humans were made for a purpose. Okay, Paul finishes his second letter to the believers in Thessalonica. I just like saying that. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm practicing. But Second Thessalonians. And he's giving a warning about idleness and getting in other people's business. Because you're not doing your own business. And the word idle, we think of it, I looked it up because when I hear the word idle, I just think of stillness, but that's not what he's talking about. Idleness is avoiding work that needs to be done, that's your work to do, and you're doing that, you're not doing it, and you're avoiding it. But humans were made for a purpose. We have busy minds. We have bodies that want to be used and get to work. And when we are avoiding our own work, guess what we tend to do? Get in other people's business. Because we were made to kind of move and do and think. And so when we're avoiding our work and our purpose, our brain and our body still want something to do. So it has all this extra time now, not really, but in the avoiding work, it will create purpose. And this is how we justify and rationalize getting in other people's business. Because we then now supposedly have time and our brain wants something to do, so it'll look at what Johnny's doing and Susie's doing and going, you know what? They would really be better off if they did this or that. Or, maybe I should go over here and help. And then we get in and we help. I use air quotes. And I'm an Enneagram 9. I'm a peacekeeper and a people pleaser. Well, I used to be. I'm recovering with both of those things. Trying to be a peacemaker now. And not a people pleaser and not the over functioning. I was doing a lot of over functioning, trying to help other people and it really was from a good intention. I don't want to make fun of myself. I don't want to make fun of you. I was doing the best I could with what I knew, but I would find myself idle. Like, if I'm being honest now, there were probably things I could be doing, but my mind, myself would notice, oh, wow, they look like they could use some help. I wonder if so-and-so needs help. Like, I would find other things to do and then justify why I wasn't getting my stuff done. Does that ring a bell? Am I the only one? I don't think so. So I don't like to admit that I'm idle. I'm trying to give you all a better view there. Wow, look at that. I don't like to admit that that was my tendency, and still can be my tendency if I'm not careful. And so I've really got to check my motives. And we keep busy, like living unconsciously and just busy and overwhelmed. Like, if you feel that way and you just feel like, oh, I can't get my head above water, I'm trying to do all the things, you might have this problem. It's more of a motivation problem. And again, when you don't know better, it's hard to do better. I didn't know any better. This was the way I was raised. This is what I was taught. This is what I thought even the church was telling me. Like, just be a servant, help others, like, be selfless. And being selfless does not mean not getting your own work done. And part of your work is taking care of yourself. Our number one command, love thy neighbor as thyself. Thyself has to come first. And when you are doing what you were made to do, fulfilling your purpose, your calling. And in order to do that, you have to be getting good sleep, good nutrition, good rest. And rest, by the way, is very productive. It's very intentional, and it's restorative, and it is not idleness. A lot of us have gotten a mixed message that that rest and self-care is indulgent and selfish and idleness. That is not idleness. That is not what Paul is talking about here. It's a motivation of the heart. Idleness is avoiding the things you should be doing. And part of what you should be doing is taking care of yourself. Instead of spending energy that maybe you don't have to give, worrying about somebody else doing what they should be doing, or trying to jump in their lane and do and direct and help, all the things. When we've got a full tank and we're taking care of ourselves and we understand what our purpose is and we are doing our work and we're not being idle in that way, then we're actually free to see if God is calling us to help so-and-so and do so-and-so. That has a very different motivation than somebody who's trying to fill their time with busyness and distraction to avoid their own work. It's a big distinction. And a lot of us are, a label that is often put on this type of behavior is over-functioning. Not just high functioning, but over-functioning. And so people can look very busy and think that they're not being idle. And that's not what Paul is saying here. He's saying idleness is avoiding your work, your purpose, your calling. And we can be very pious and very good helpers and doing all the things and over-functioning and having no clue that we're the people that Paul is referring to. So this might not have been a fun message to hear today, but I have to put guardrails up around myself and every day sort of check in with myself, like, what's your motivation here, Felicia? Is this really yours to do? Or are you getting over here and then using that to avoid what is yours to do? Area of responsibility versus maybe an area of concern. And then if we've got time and somebody does need help, because a lot of people will take our help. If we're going to give it, they will take it. But it's not necessarily helpful for them either. There's this whole concept of enabling. And that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But if you find yourself caught up in other people's drama or just caught up in drama a lot, you might be an over-functioning person who is doing a lot of idling work, avoiding your own work. Don't shoot the messenger. I can talk about this because it's preaching to the choir. Like, this is my work. Like, I could recognize this in myself, and I have to be really careful of it. And there are days when I am all kinds of idle. So I'm a work in progress for sure in this area. But the more I practice, the better I get at recognizing and being honest and checking in with my motives and see if all of my busyness and doing and helping is really mine to do, or if I'm using it as a justification and rationalization to a rational lie to avoid doing my own work. So idleness is not stillness. And there is stillness and rest that is very purposeful that you need to be doing. But it's really more about the motivation, the heart. Why are you doing what you're doing? Okay, enjoy this beautiful sunrise. I've got to get going. I have a lot of purposes to fulfill today. And part of it is even some self-care and connecting with some friends. All right. Love you. See you tomorrow. Rise and shine. And we start, I think it's Timothy, first Timothy tomorrow. Here we are. Bye.